Yeah. What up, guys? Tuesday. We're going to get started in a little bit right now. Man. All right. We got Acme show coming up too. What a trip. All right. Let's see. It's Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's usually podcast night. But unfortunately, no podcast tonight. We are going to be doing what we should have been doing yesterday. The magazine preview. Oh, wow. We kind of match right here. My hat. Crazy. Oh, you know what? Before we get started, I need to go grab something. I forgot it. It's right over there. Hang on, guys. Oh, yeah. All right. Bam, we're back. Forgot my drink, you know? Man, it's almost like a ritual. Like every time I'm going on live, gotta sip me one of these Synergy drinks. These are good. This is the Peach Paradise right here. We're gonna have it later in a bit. Slowly Models, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. We live, bro. Man, I hope you had a good weekend, bro. It went by so fast. Monday crept up and I was like, all right, we're probably going to do the magazine preview. I already knew what magazine I was going to do and everything. But then I got busy and everything. And I was like, you know, we got the show coming up, going to be flying out. And I was like, you know what? I got to chill, man. I don't know. Yesterday I was like tired, you know, I was playing with my daughter and everything. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to go on. So, but we are here. Juana Mesqua, what's up? What's up? Yo, Ryan, See No Evil Builds, Steven Kessel, what up? How's everybody doing? But yeah, we're not doing any interviews tonight. You know, I didn't schedule anybody in or anything. There's just a lot going on, you know, with stuff, and it was like yesterday, today, just being busy. And I feel like tomorrow I'll start to kind of free up, and then, you know, obviously Thursday I got to be really gearing up because we're going to be flying out on early Friday morning. So I wanted to come back today. You know, I had a little bit of free time. I'm like, let's do the magazine preview. Why not? You know, and we'll see where we go from there. So, you know, a lot of little updates and stuff that I'm going to show you guys and tell you guys towards the end of the magazine preview. But this one here, dude, it was crazy. Like I was flipping through all the mags, right? And I was going like, all right, we're already done this one, Lowrider and Scale Magazine. And then I was like, wait a minute, we're coming to the end. Like there's this one here I have, and then I might have like a couple more issues, and that's it. There's no more. And then there's another one. I believe it was supposed to be like maybe a sister magazine company. Hopefully I'll get some clarity, you know, later regarding this when the time comes. But, you know, we'll see then. So let's see here. Let's get things started here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me see if I can show something real quick on here. Oh, no, I can't. Where is it? Last time I did. Maybe is it this one? Oh, yeah. Check this out right here. Bam. I don't know if you guys could see that. The little emojis right here. All right, cool. So I'm gonna jump back in over here, and we're gonna get started. All right, cool. So this is Lowrider and Scale Magazine, September 2012. So we're getting further on into the year right here. This is one-on-one with Maurice Individuals Andrews. We also have Al Camacho, Keeping It Clean. Shout outs to Al Camacho. He's been on the podcast as well. And what's next for Lowrider modeling? All right. So that's the question right there, the topic that was being asked back in September of 2012. And we're going to go ahead and flip through this book right here. So here we have the back issues right up top. Everything available at MacCloud. That still exists to this day. That's how I got my hands on these issues right here. It was on MacCloud right there. So in case if you guys want these issues, want to add them to your collection, want to flip through them, you know, whenever you can at your convenience, you can get them right there. And let's see, it says in this issue, and then they have photographs of the cars right there with the page numbers. That's pretty cool. Editor's Corner right there. If you guys want to pause that later and read it, there's that section there on page 2. And then there's also this section here, the future of lowrider modeling right there. Let me get it nice, the crop right there. And we all know Jerry's right here. Cool little logo right there. Miniature Lowriders, jerrys.com. The hype, the man himself, the one that puts the magazine together. Shout outs to him for doing this. And then here we go. Check this out right here. This looks pretty dope. Man, I wonder if this is his car. You know, we'll read this later and we'll find out. So dope. All right, here, let's see. Let's check this out. So we're going to be getting into the one of the first features here, the process. So check that out right there. Man, you already see the tape laid out where they're going to start to do the cuts. Cutting off the roof and everything. You know, it's pretty much like a surgery, as you could say right here. Because, you know, this is a car that is pretty much being turned into a wagon right here. So this is the 1949 Mercury right here. Yo, what up, Leon? Model Car 1589. What's up, dude? Thank you for joining. And there you have the tape laid out to get out the cut. And then now you got a roof. I wonder if that roof is from like a Nomad. It looks like it might be. Because what gives it away is the little ridge lines right here. I don't know if you guys could see that in this picture right there. And even the shape of the pillars, they're at an angle. So I'm assuming that's the Chevy Nomad right there. That wagon, really nice kit. And then when they start forming it, man, that looks like, I don't know if it's glue or like Bondo. That's right at the top. And then right here, it starts taking its shape right there, filling it in, sanding it and all. We got the skirts laid out too. Here we have the interior seats, the molding right there. And then the results. Here we go. So you have pretty much a two-door wagon right here, 49 Merc. And nice grill. And then we got, it looks like 20-inch rims, like the wheels. And then look at the back right there. That looks pretty clean. It's a really nice, some really nice photographs right here. Right there. Check them out. That's cool. You got the interior right there all laid out. You know, I do have a 49, but it's not a wagon. It's more of a panel. Resin body from Jimmy Flintstone. I acquired this a while back, and my, I don't know, desires, dreams, or, you know, was always like to build that one and to do the panel. But by seeing this as a wagon, it always makes me wonder. I wonder if it would be a good idea to even like lay out some tape and even cut out some of the side panels to open it up, almost like windows. You know, that'd be quite interesting right there. The idea behind it was, I was thinking of like having this old 49 panel and then having like water slide decals, like making it like a delivery truck for flowers, you know, and using like my parents' like company logo and stuff like that on there. I think that'd be pretty cool, you know, kind of like a fantasy. It's not like we were around back in that time, you know, but it'd be kind of awesome. So this is the result right here, the process and the result right there. That's pretty cool. And here, let me see. Let me go back. My bad. So this was done by Mini Dreams. David Sean, shout outs to him. Yes, it does say he started with the 49 Mercury and a 55 Chevy Nomad wagon. Top was removed from the Mercury as well as the Nomad. Man, that's cool. Shout outs to him. Here we got article for Carlos Perez right here with the Mercedes. Look how clean that looks. That's pretty dope. Right there, if you ask me. It says, for those wondering why these are Mercedes-Benz in a Lowrider model magazine, the answer is simple. This is a great build and it has been lowered. While some feel a great build has to be chopped up with full engine detail, at least 6 to 7 different colors in order to be a great build, may not always be the case. Yeah, it looks nice. Like the stance right there. That's very smooth. Super clean right there. Over here on this side, we got a mild custom, big impact. Ooh, look this right here, man. This is the stuff I'm talking about. I'm digging this Barracuda right here. I wonder if this is the same model kit as to the one that I'm currently working on. It could be. If it's the Revell, then it's for sure. Yup, I believe it is, man. Let me see. I'm trying to see. So this is built by Dana Chambly. But this is nice. I'm really digging the colors for sure with the orange. Then you got the Hemi Waterside decal on the side right there. I like the detailing on the back end right there. That looks pretty clean. Looks very realistic. Even the wheels too. The wheels look super realistic right there. That's pretty cool. Mild custom big impact. Nice. All right. I'm going to open up this drink, man. Ooh, hear that pop right there. I've been waiting on this. I got it earlier today and I was like, all right, we're going to do the magazine preview and, you know, I got to go to the store, get a drink, and then bam, be ready, you know? All right, cool. All right. Paint Maverick, what's up, bro? Oh, man, you just made it, bro. You got here late. We're already at the end of the magazine, bro. Boom. All right, dude. Nah, I'm playing. I'm joking, bro. Welcome. All right. So here we are. Next page right here. Wait, is this continuing on to his builds? Because the article just starts and it's not even giving a name. So let's find out. Oh, this is all Carlos Perez right here. No, wait. Dana Chambly, sorry. Carlos Perez. And then over here, let's see. This also has to be Dana's because it says his other builds. Man, that's a transition right there. 56 Del Rey. These Del Reys are nice, man. Back when I was getting back into scale modeling, it was so hard for me to find these Del Reys. I remember my hobby store back in Ventura had one, and I was like, dude, I want to get the Del Rey, right? Models by Ronnie. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining us here. And I remember seeing it, and he was selling it for, I think, $35, right? But it was the one that had the box art with like a California license plate at the top corner. And I was like, oh, I'll get it next week kind of thing. You know, I didn't take it then because I was buying something else. I was like, cool, he has a Del Rey, built something different or whatever. And then I come back and it's gone. Somebody bought it, you know? And that's when the search started. Everywhere I started to go, it was constant like, where is this car? I couldn't find it anywhere. And I don't know if I had any luck with eBay or anything. And I just kind of gave up on it, you know? And then years later, they ended up bringing it back. Like it got like repopped. And, you know, I was like, oh, cool. It's available now. So I was later able to get my hands on it. But now here's the other problem. I never ended up building it. I just had it in the stash right there. And, you know, I don't even think I even have this kit. I can't remember if I sold it or if I ended up trading someone for it. I might have probably just sold it, you know, but at least I know that it's still available. Like one way or another, if you don't get your hands on it now, you know, you can always get it later. So this one here is pretty neat because I'm tripping out on it. I'm looking at all the photos and they have it in 2 versions. It's like you see the hardtop and then it's convertible. That's cool. Let's see. I wonder if you actually cut that out. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, wait. Here we go. let's just start up here at the top on this side right here. So I'm going to tilt the magazine because I got to read this. Then I'll show you more. It says, one of which kind of mirrors the cover car in this issue. It is a 56 Del Rey that has had its top removed, but this has remarkable hardtop. When we first received the photos, we thought he built two of these because it's uncommon in the world of model car building, but a closer look revealed that this was the same car with a removable top that was cut as close to perfect as you're going to get. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, I'm staring at it. All right. I think I could kind of see it like right here above the window right there. And then, oh man, it's kind of hard to see back here because it's just black right there. But that's dope, man. Shout outs right here to him. He got down right there. And let's see, Models by Ronnie in the chat. He says, that's my 66 Caprice you're about to look at. Oh yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out right here. Let's see. So we got, man, just in time. Let's see, Jazzy, it says right here, the title. The 66 Caprice are not exactly frequent flyers around the model car scene. So when we do see one, it usually stands out. Something you will see. One that stands out for more than the reason, the 66 Caprice, built by Jerome Andrews, stands out for many reasons. You know what? It's true. It's true. What it says here on that statement is that you don't really get to see a lot of these cars around, but when you do see them, you know, it's usually something that is going to stand out, that you're going to be like, damn, you know, like where people go all out kind of thing. And man, that's pretty dope. I really like that right there. So let's take a look right here at the 66 Caprice, something that's rare. You don't really get to see anywhere, you know, because for the most part, we get to see the 66 Impala, you know, model kit, you put them side to side, and then you start to notice those differences on there, you know. And for those that are Impala enthusiasts and Caprice enthusiasts that, you know, like to really study the body, study everything and look at everything, they could tell right off the bat right away, you know. But for me, what stands out a lot is always like the roof and even like the back part, like the back windows, things like that. But man, this is cool. And then I like the color combinations as well. And even the stance on it right here. Right here, it looks like it's like lifted, you know. Fours right there. And then we also have the engine plumbing right there. Let's see how high we can get right there so you guys can see that. With the wiring. Let's see. Oh, all right. Let's see. This caught my attention. Whenever I look at the mags, what catches my attention in the text is like when they start using like these big words like HOK. I'm like, ooh, I know what that stands for. House of Color. So let's see here. It says the paint patterns and roof grab your attention at first sight. It clearly says this is a Lowrider. The decals are from Franklin Inc. If you need some of these, check the back page of the magazine. You know, let's go back. That's it's this one right here. The one we always talk about at the end. That's pretty cool. Check that out. And then it says, and Jerome laid these out smooth over HOK silver base. They even flow throughout the dashboard and under the rear glass. We eventually love the fact that it's not just candied. Dope. Because it gives that old school look. Yep, that's true. And then Jerome worked on this magic by making a vinyl top for it and painting it a shade of green to match the patterns. That's cool, man. Awesome work right there. So check it out, guys. This is the 66 Caprice right here. Models by Ronnie right here in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Let's go on to the next page, guys. Here we got Douglas Newbin, a 67 Impala replica. Check that out right there. This is a nice, man. This looks like a real car too. You know, when I look at this 67, it makes me wonder if they got their hands. Let's see. If this is the ATM car, ATM, AMT, ATM. Let me see. Trying to find it. See what says, what kind of body it is. I think it might be, but it's not saying. So there's like an old school a scale model issue, and it's like the Impala issue, and in the front it has the 67. And one of the things they teach you in there is regarding like this trim right here that runs all the way across over the skirt, and how you would use like styrene and all this stuff to build it up more to the original, not the Super Sport. And it was highlighted really nicely on there. And I wonder if this person has that issue, saw it, got inspired, and was like, yo, I'm going to do my version of it. Even the bumpers have the bumper cards right here, the ones in the rear. And then it looks like it has some in the front as well. And then also on the 67, the Super Sport, there's like a, I don't know, some type of scoop or just something at the top, right? That a lot of the times you have to eliminate and fill in. And right here, they did just that. But it looks like he also added that middle trim piece to make it look very more natural, like that flow, right? I'm pretty sure if I wouldn't have seen that issue and I would have tried that to fill it in, I would have like just smoothed it out. And now that I think about it, I think that's exactly what I did on the 67. I did a while, like some years back in like 2017. I got to bring that build out again so I can show you guys one day. But this is cool. I'm really digging this right here in all black. And then the wheels. Imagine this car like still having it and being able to revisit it. All you got to do is just swap out the wheels and that's it, right? You get some of Gavin's wheels and slide those in there and boom. Like it would like bring it out like 2025. These wheels look dope though. Don't get me wrong. They do look awesome. And I just wonder if even in the same style, you know, but obviously the stuff Gavin's putting out is like a, I don't know, like a 5.0, 10.0. It's like the newest version of everything, right? Everything that we've always wanted, it's here, it's there, and he just keeps perfecting it right there. So this is awesome. Shout outs to Douglas Newbin right there. Let's see. Slowly Models comments, a 4-spoke Supreme just to be different. Haha. Hey, that would be pretty cool. Then Leon says, nice 67. I agree. Let's go on to the next one here. We have the 56 Del Rey Roadster, or yeah, Roadster. El Camacho. Man, this is dope. Let me see. Of course. See, we see it again. The H Oak K. Let's see here. Let's get into the paint right here. The paint is HOK Orion Blue with Blue Pearl mixed in. And the white is HOK Snow White Pearl. Bare metal foil was carefully applied and several coats of urethane. Automotive clear was sprayed. The car was rubbed out to eliminate any orange peel and produce a show-like shine. Man, I wonder if Al still has this car. I don't think I've seen this car in person. I've seen some of his other builds, but not this one here. The cool thing about this Del Rey is right here how it breaks up, because this trim, it's something that like inserts, it comes off, so you're able to, you know, separate it right there. And I wonder if he molded the back too, because I don't see anywhere where you could put a license plate frame in the back. So I'm pretty sure he molded that in for that custom look. That looks great. I love those little fine touches like right there. And then here we have the front right there, hood all opened up, and then the bottom right there showing us the goods. That's pretty cool. Al says, this started as a simple build, but any true car guy knows that how it always starts, but somehow it turns into so much more. Yup, that's true. Like a quick build starts turning into some months and then years, and then next thing you know, you're like, man, I got to take a break. I don't know when I'm going to finish this right here. P Maverick comments, what'd you say? Message redacted or retracted. Dang, what happened, bro? All right. Okay, I'm looking in that direction right now because I'm looking at some kits from here that actually I need to show you guys. I have not showed you guys these kits that I got on. I brought them in on Friday of last week, and they're just chilling over on that side over there that I need to at some point show you guys. So beautiful model right here from Al Camacho. Shout outs to him. He's still active out there building out here in Southern California. Yo, what up, Styrene? Live 505. What's up, bro? I'm doing good, man. How are you? Yeah, thank you for joining. Let's see here. We're at the halfway point right here. You could kind of tell by the staples right there. Man. All right. So here we have Jesse Del Pozo right here. All right. Let's see what we're looking at right here. So we got a truck flamed out. All this right here. That's dope. Yeah, it looks airbrushed, man. I mean, they're showing us some airbrushing right up here. You know, right there. That looks pretty clean. Jesse Del Pozo. That's cool. And then we got some models right here. This looks like the 64 Impala right there. Rear is dropped. Front is lifted. Over here we have it looks like a blood red. Oh, red rum. Dang. He used the red rum license plate. Is this a reference to Silence of the Lambs? Spelled murder backwards. Pretty cool. Check it out. Right there. All in red with the pump setup. Chain steering wheel. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Pink Maverick. He's back in the comments. He says, every time I see wheels like that, 56 Del Rey, I feel like the Joker in Batman 89. Where does he get those wonderful toys? Right on. Let's see. Celebrating Life 5 doing good, homie. Great content you're putting out, carnal. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Oh, wait. I did the wrong reference. You're right. The Shining. I'm all Silence of the Lambs. That's the wrong movie. Yeah, you're right, bro. The Shining. Hey, I was talking to my lady about that. We were saying how that movie's a trip. Like the first one, and then later they came out with like it's not titled like a part 2, but it is continuing on like the kid as an adult. That was interesting. One right there too. So yeah. All right. Man, what model's this down here? Is this a Rivi? It looks like it, right? Like a promo. You guys let me know. See if I could catch it right here. Because we see these side views, but I'm looking at the front grille, the way these front ends, the lights are sticking out. And then even the rear bumper with the rear tail lights right there. Let's see. Dang. All right. All right, let's go. But these are dope, man. These are dope right here. Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, you should check it out, bro. Definitely check it out. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Here we got Frank Rizzo right here with this caddy. Dang, slammed to the ground right here. That's dope. It looks like the windows are tinted too, if you see that right there. Oh, 65 Rivy era. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I was like trying to make out like, man, what is it? Yup, you're right. 65. Yeah, I could kind of see the numbers here on the 19.6, and I can't see the next number. But that's dope, man. Thank you. Thank you for that, Ronnie. Right there. All right. So Frank Rizzo. Let's see. This is a Limburg 79 Cadillac. Yeah, this thing's like slam. Okay, so the article says the Limburg first released the 79 Cadillac Hopper. It was viewed much as a toy, and many serious builders passed on it. It would seem that shortly thereafter, the Cadillac promos became easier to get and came with complete interiors, with dashboard, steering wheel. Every now and then someone does something with the Limburg version, and this is one of those. Franklin Rizzo, who is one of the most creative builders around, bought this caddy back to life. All right, so I see here. So yeah, I don't know if you guys remember those. Limburg had those hoppers. So they'd have, you know, like the car with this long cord, and then you just be pressing the button, and the thing would just be like dancing or just hopping like really ridiculously, right? And right there, yo, Lane Low Hobbies, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Thank you for joining us. And you would hit the switch, and the thing would just be like hopping or going side to side, you know, going a little crazy. And like what it says, you know, people viewed it much as a toy. I remember having a 63 Hopper. I believe it was the Joker edition one, and all multicolored. And then they had this huge engine coming out of it. You know, it looked very much like a Hot Wheel in 1/24 scale. And you would hit the button for the switch, and yeah, it would just be like hopping kind of funny, where even the front wheels aren't really coming out, you know, they're just kind of, it's just kind of moving or whatever. And I remember being like, man, this is the 63 Impala that I own. I've never owned a model kit or anything in 63. This is the closest I could get. But at the time, I didn't have the skills or anything. I didn't know about being like, oh, let me take it apart, let me take the engine out, fill out those areas with styrene, and sand it and paint it and do all that. I never thought about any of that. I had no idea about that stuff at that time. That must have been like 98, 99 maybe when I had my hands on that. So for this here, it looks like, you know, Rizzo got the caddy right here and did his thing. You know, now, you know, earlier I had said about the, what was it? The like the windows are tinted. A lot of those already came like that too. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Yo, what up, man? Yo, this is the man right here. Lowrider and Scale Magazine, the bench. Let's see. And the booth, 2230. He says in the chat right now, thanks for the review. Another issue of my magazine. Really appreciate it. Oh, man, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for putting these out back then, bro. That's so dope. It's crazy because, like, I wasn't building any models or anything during that time, but I always go back and I think, like, damn, 2012, you know, I had taken a break from building models, but you were still, you know, holding it down and, you know, showcasing and giving a lot of these guys motivation, you know, to work towards like being on a magazine, showcasing their stuff like that. That's pretty dope, man, right there. And man, I don't know, man, it'll be dope in the future. Something if you ever came back and did more issues, you know. And, you know, I keep telling everybody, if they want to get their hands on this issue, they can still get them there on magcloud.com. They got all the back issues right there. That's where I got my hands on these right here. So, man, that's cool, man. Thank you for joining us right here. So here we have an article, Maurice Individuals Andrews. Man, look at the artwork on this right here. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's cool because, you know, we're getting into the further issues of the magazine, and now we got some artists right here that are being showcased. That's pretty awesome right there, because it's also, even though it's like not model cars, and it's somewhat related where you can get it inspired, right? And be like, oh man, I'm curious now. I airbrushed my model. I want to learn about airbrushing, doing portraits and stuff and so forth. Eventually, you could always bring it back full circle and bring it back to your model builds right there. So that's pretty awesome. Let's see. Bam. It says, what do you do when you are one of the greatest painters in the country? You go on tour, and that is exactly what Maurice Andrews is doing right now. Oh, that's dope. Let me see. He has been painting since he was 5 years old. Started with drawing, painting models. Oh, there you go. Painting models, bikes, and just moved up the ladder to the point where he is not only painting award-winning lowrider cars, he is also a beast with the brush. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool. Damn, dude, you came up with all these creative writings, bro. You weren't even using ChatGPT. I'd be like, all right, what am I going to say? I need help. Let me see. ChatGPT. All right. Nah, that's cool, man. This is so dope. So let's see here. It says the work is at level most can only dream about. His archives include cars owned by celebrities like T.I., Snoop, and many more. That's cool. And not to mention the Michael Jackson tribute bike. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's the one down here, right there. Look at that. That's badass, man. Makes me want to go get my Thriller vinyl record, play it tonight. That's dope. That's so dope right there. Cool. Let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. So, comments. Lots of work in those mags. Yeah, bro. There is. Then here we have a... is this the Caprice or the Impala? Let's see. Here we have Miss Bliss still standing. It's always nice to see a lady in the car game. When we ran across Miss Bliss, we knew she was all in. That's dope. Oh, it's a Crown Victoria. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I kept thinking, like, when I started seeing like this shape here of the car, but man, that's dope. Oh, this is the during the process. Every time when I see like the cars and the projects, I always think like, man, I wonder if they still have the car, and hopefully they were able to maintain it after all these years, because it's tough. Once one thing starts to happen, a dent or the paint, something, it's like you either fix it right there and then, or it's almost the road of like, oh, bro, I think I need to hide it. I think we need to put it out of commission for a bit right there. Let's see. Paint Maverick in the chat. Crown Victoria, similar to the Impala, great engines in them. Styrene Life 505. I kind of want to build a 49 Mercury lowrider in static 3 mil motion, homie. You should, man. That would be pretty dope. Let's see. It's possible, dude. It's definitely possible right there. So check out the Victoria right there. That's pretty cool. Man, every time I flip through these pages and I start feeling it thin at the end, I go, oh, man. I get a little bummed out because I'm like, man, we're getting near the end right here, And I wish we could keep it going. But, that's what happens when you're having fun, right? So here we have this really dope caddy right here. Let's see. For those of us who have been building a while, we have all had that one car where nothing seems to go right. David Champion. Oh, shout outs to David Champion. He's been on the podcast in the past right there as well. Man, I think like the first time I met David Champion, he had like this huge Cadillac display. This was at the Cadillac Fest, of course, back in like so crazy. Let's check it out. So this is the The 93 to 96 Fleetwood, also referred to as a big body. That's cool. I wish, companies like Revell or something would come out with something like this, like officially. I mean, they would sell so many of them, right? But I don't know. Who am I to say? It's like when we watch a movie and we're all like, oh, if they would make a movie like this, or if this would happen, they would make more money or they would make more movies. But sometimes it don't work like that. Let's see. David appropriately names the caddy Butterfinger for all the mishaps and falls. Oh, man. It sucks when that happens, man. We want to thank David for sharing his ups and downs of this build. Here, I'm going to set it right there. If you guys want to read that right there, you guys could always pause it. But it's a trip because I know what they're talking about with the mishaps. I remember my homie Dennis Matthews, he would be working on a 1960 Impala. And he would always tell me, dude, everything just does not go. It keeps falling apart. I don't know what's going on, and I need to fix this or whatever. And then the project would just pause. It would take a long time to get it fixed. It would take forever. But that's cool. It got done. All right, let's go on to the next page right here. Oh, man. Here we have Rafael Santiago Coupe de Ville. That's clean right there. See, I could see the metal flake right there, but maybe it's not the metal flake. It might be more like a metallic, that it's so fine. It almost looks like metal flake. And then we see this pattern here. Let's see what we see here in the article for you guys. Check out those images first. That close-up of the grill looks dope right there. Trip out on this. When you look at this photo, you see how the light is hitting in the front, but then in the back, you see the trunk gets dark, but then that center pattern looks like it's glowing right there. That's pretty nice. Let's see. This Cadillac Coupe de Ville built by Rafael Santiago definitely stands out. One thing that stands out almost immediately is the shaved hood and trunk. That center line has been removed along with both Cadillac emblems. Next is the paint. For the base, Rafael used Duplicolor, metallic, black, all dope. Then proceeded to do some fades with custom colored Tequila Sunrise. The final patterns are decals that came with the kit. Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. Everything is buried under exotic colors, fire orange candy, and 8 coats of Opal clear. This is an interesting take because, it says he's using the waterslide decals that came with the kit, right? And, until we got to the end, it's saying that he applied the fire orange candy. That's pretty cool. So I'm trying to visualize the process as to like when he's painting this. So I'm pretty sure when he was applying the candy, he was applying it over the decal that makes the decal and the metallic, like everything just really well and uniform right there. Obviously, most likely the top part, like this leather part was backmasked right there. Even like the side panel, that trim. Or I think on this one, the trim, they're like inserts, I believe, on this one that you add on there. This is the Revell kit right here. That's pretty dope. Interesting. And then also another thing that stood out is the Duplicolor. I don't know. Are you guys still rocking with? I don't have any Duplicolor. I don't have any. I wonder if people start using it, you know. And if so, if you guys have any recommendations on that, let me know. All right. Let's get to the next. It says Master Artist David Anthony Garcia. Hell yeah. That's the homie right there. Check him out. Some cool photos right there. Then with the bench in the background, check out his Hudson Hornet right there. Bam. Let's see here. It says, in the model car world, there are several names that gain instant attention. One of those names is David Anthony Garcia. The name instantly brings us back to the Lowrider Bicycle Magazine days of looking through the pages and wondering how this guy comes up with these ideas, right? I agree. The answer is quite simple. He's a true artist in every way possible. Anytime you hear his name, you are known whatever he's working on is one of a kind and something you are not likely to see again. The Hudson is one of those items starting with the Hudson kit. Dang. Here he goes. You guys can read the rest right there. You know, when I see this one, I've seen this one in person at some of the shows. And man, I love Hudsons. I love them. They're so dope. And when I used to see them, I never thought like, oh, cool, that would make like a cool little bomb or like a little custom, right? I would just be like, oh, it's not a Chevy, you know, or it's not a Ford or whatever, right? But then the more I would see it, I'd be like, dude, these cars have a lot of potential, right? But when I see the colors and some of the patterns in it, it almost makes me feel like this is like an homage to like the cars in a lot of combinations with these kind of colors, and then sure, kind of like a little spike or whatever. I know they do rock with that as well out there. Man, what's going on my side? I keep getting notifications like my internet's dropping, coming back, dropping. What's going on? Let me know, guys, if it's tripping. But yeah, dude, this is a really cool build right here. Let me see. And then the wheels of choice is a MCR Krager wheels wrapped up with headlights. That's dope. Oh, right on. It was tripping. Yeah, no, it's not your internet. Yeah, you're good. And that's on my end. You know, like right now it's early gonna be 10, right? And I've been noticing that when I do go live earlier, it tends to drop because it's like, you know, obviously in my household, people are watching TV or something, you know, everyone's streaming and so forth. And, you know, as I jump on later in the night, there's not anybody awake, right? Yeah, exactly. Everyone's gaming and stuff. And now it's like, dang, this is happening. I don't know why, but this is a dope build right here. Hopefully you guys will get to see it one day out here in SoCal right there. Right. Let's see. We're getting down to, I believe this is the last vehicle. Frank Guerra presents Brown Sugar right here. Is this the 55? What are we looking at right here? Yep. Bel Air convertible. That's cool. If you were fortunate to view the January issue of Lowrider magazine, this car should look a little familiar. Yeah, this is nice. Check out this. It's 55 right there. Look at that. Yo, what up, D-Block? What's up, man? Thank you for tuning in right here. And then here we have the front right there. Let's show you these other photos right here. Got the hood and trunk opened up. Then in the back, we got here the Dynasty plaque representing right there. Looks like a photo etch plaque. And then we have other angles of the car. And then right here, everything all closed up. Trunk and hood closed up. So, you know, from when you see the photos, you know, you could combine these two right here, obviously, with the rag top set up, and then this one already off right there. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is awesome right here. Yeah, and this is the last car in the mag right here. Then we come to the end. Trendsetter 68. And then we got Franklin Inc. established 2006. Man. Is he still, do any of you guys know if he's still doing the decals or it just kind of ended later, like some years later? I was wondering about that. Get a backstory or history on what happened to that. So this right here, guys, this was the Lowrider in Scale magazine, September of 2012. And next week, I'll preview another one that I have. I believe we're down to like 2 more issues. And then there's another one that's a different issue that I also got from the MacCloud. And, you know, we'll go from there. So those 3 issues right there in the future, that's going to be at least like a few more weeks, you know, coming in back to back. Should be exciting and interesting because there's a lot of cool stuff in here. You know, it's some really cool articles, some good information, especially when it tells you like what kind of paint and like what they used to make the build, because that's always like a question that we have, and sometimes we don't get to ask it. Sometimes we're at a show, we check stuff out, and we don't even have an opportunity to even speak with the individual that created it, or we're just like, oh man, that's dope, take pictures and all that, but we're not really like checking out like, dang, you know, what's going on. Damn, that was kind of rough. All right. I was like drinking that. I was like, what's going on? I almost felt like I was in a burp right there. But let me grab something real quick. I have some model cars that I was going to show you guys that I got my hands on last Friday. Let me pull those out real quick. Hang on. Super hype on these ones right here. Got them on Friday. Let's check it out. Boosh. Oh, I gotta clear the table. Hang on. I got like lots of goodies up here. Let's see. Let's put this over here. All right, cool. And then there's a couple of them that are opened, so maybe I'll be able to show you the open ones right here. Here, to start off with this one right here. All right. So this is going to be like another segment right here. So check it out. I got this model car on Friday. This is a 31 Ford Model A sedan, hot rod 2-in-1 from Revell. And I've never owned this car right here. I've never built a Model A before, you know. And I don't know, just something about it, like looking at it, what stood out to me was like this car here. And then this car, and I was like, and then this sold me. I was like, oh man, built 1 or 2 ways. And then I started to think like, oh man, this crazy. This is 1931, you know? They made this car back in the day, and, you know, the parents didn't know that their kids were going to grab these cars and like customize them and put flames on them, you know, and put all these pipes and loud noises, and people are just going to be like scared running through the streets. So I was like, man, I want to get this car and I want to paint it. Bam, check it out right here. Shh, what's up, Carlos? What's up? Thank you for tuning in. We're just hanging out. We just got done previewing one of the magazines. We're just chilling right now. Let's see here. Oh, wait, wrong one. Boom, right there. Right there. All right, here we go. Boom. So I don't know. I've never built one of these. Pretty excited to get my hands on this. Let's check out the water slide decals right here. Oh yeah. See, it even comes with those little flames. And then they're cut right here, I guess, for the doors, right? See, let me see how close I can get it to you guys right here to peep right there. Then we got the numbers. We got the little moon eyes right there. That's neat. 31 license plate. That's so cool. So yeah, there's a lot of cool little nifty things that are in this build right here. So check it out. Another thing that tripped me out is the glass, right? Usually you get your piece of glass, but this is just like a really thin strip of plastic that you can obviously, you know, shape it, cut it to shape to fill in the glass right there. It's really thin, really nice stuff right there. But this was like the first kit I acquired that has this. So I'm like, oh dang. I was like, right on. And but yeah, this seems like a fun one right here, you know? Oh, and then on top of that, it came with surfboards too. That was another thing that really caught my attention. I was like, oh dope. It comes with some surfboards right here. So it's pretty cool, you know? And I'm really happy I got this kit. Here, let me see if I can pull out the surfboards. It's an open box kit, but it's complete. Everything's there. Nothing crazy. I mean, even if it was missing something, it's all good. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Here we got the 2 surfboards. You got to see the little fin right there. That's pretty neat. That's some cool stuff right there. So this should be a little fun one right here. Let's put all this stuff back. Oh, you know what? Since we're here, let's go ahead and put the the water slide decals inside of the instruction booklet right there, so don't get all jacked up. Let's put this, get it nice and flat right there. Bam. So yeah, that's this 31 Ford Model A right here. Is headquarters. What's up? How you doing, man? Here we have another model creeping. 1950 Chevrolet 3100 pickup right here. You know, this would make like a nice bomb, you know, if you want to lower it, or, you know, stock build right here as well. It's pretty nice. You know, I've always, like I said, I admire the box artwork layout from this era right here, because this is what I saw when I was a kid going to the hobby stores. Every time I went to a hobby store, everything that was like stacked up like this, you know, all the models like going up side to side, everything stacked up in the aisle was the AMT model kits, and they all had the gray backdrop or whatever, right? Most of them was like a real car or just a model car that was photographed and placed on there. So I always got a kick of, you know, reading all the details here, looking at all the photographs right there. But I wasn't buying all the models. I would just buy one, you know. I would like ride my bike all over there with my friends and just buy one model. And then I think like, oh, next time I go, I'll get the other model. But I really wouldn't do that. I would always just keep getting the same models all the time. You know, that was kind of the thing right there. So, you know, it was just one of those things that I was like, man, this is some cool stuff. So 62 Bel Air, it's my favorite model right there from this era. And then I saw this one, I was like, I got to get this one too, you know. So this is a nice one. And it's still sealed. That's a cool thing. It's still sealed right there. So let's see here. This next one is a fun one too, because this is my very first NHRA, the Mongoose, Tom the Mongoose McEwen, or McEwen. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. 75th Plymouth Duster NHRA, funny car. You know, I've been talking about like funny cars and barracudas and all this stuff. I've really been watching a lot of on YouTube, like a lot of races with like from NHRA, right? Just cars just smashing down the track, 300, 400 miles an hour kind of thing, and so forth. I really never paid too much attention to it, but what gravitated me towards it is the paint jobs on the cars, the exaggerated, of the funny cars, and just like a lot of horsepower, right? Ridiculous horsepower and stuff. And even, one of my friends was telling me, a lot of these cars, when they're customized, he's talking about like stock cars and other cars, he's like, they do these really cool paint jobs and panels and stuff like that, where they could be a bit more experimental and expressive. And at some point, the car gets banged up, a fender, or just, they crash, something happens. It's like another opportunity for them to fix the vehicle, bring it back to life, and then go right ahead and start, going back and painting the car again. So that's always been like a really cool thing right there. Let me, I'm going to open this up right now. Let me just grab something real quick. Put this over here. All right, cool. Let's see here. So here we got the Mongoose. All right, let's open this up. See, the thing about this one, when I was opening it up, it's like really, really hard to kind of open up, slide it out. Bam, there we got it right here. Check this out right here. This is really nice right here. What stood out to me right off the bat, I mean, this is it's a sealed kit. I'm not gonna open it right now until when I'm ready for it. But the one thing when I looked at this body, I was like, man, look how long this body is, how smooth, like how clean it looks, dude. A lot of the times when man, what's that noise? Hang on real quick. The heck? It sounds like there's like hail dropping on my roof right now. At first I thought it was somebody walking. What the hell? Let me check the weather real quick. I was like, what's this noise coming on real quick? I think it is. Hang on. Let me check something real quick. It's weird. Hold on. No, it's not hell. It's raining. Oh, man. Yeah, it's like, it's coming down right now. It's weird. Dang, what the hell? That's weird. It's raining and there was no warning or nothing right now. But whatever. We need water anyway. I could water the grass. All right. So can you guys hear that? Here, let me turn up the mic. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Oh, it's going away. Oh, you guys can hear that. Check it out. All right, I'm going to turn it down now. All right. So the body. All right, I look at the body and I'm like, dude, all the work's already done. I one of the things I like to do is delete a lot of stuff, emblems and all this stuff, sand and all this, and then look at the back. I mean, the window is solid in the back, right? Obviously, we could cut it out if we like or whatever, but this is a really nice canvas. It's just a really nice canvas that I'm like, dude, like I could paint this all white, right? Maybe some white pearl all over the whole body. And then I could start masking off and doing like paint patterns and stuff on top of it, I think that'd be pretty sick. In panels, it doesn't have to be like the whole, it can be in sections, right? So you get this, some of the parts of the inside right there. And then there's also this part right here that I'm like, yo, I've never built anything like that, right? I know sometimes there's some guys that scratch built that. And I'm going to open up the the little instructional booklet. I want to show you guys that. Here we have all the chrome right here. That's pretty cool. Ooh, we got the wheels. We got them big wheels right there. I mean, I've seen some people bust out with some even bigger ones. I'm like, God dang, where'd you guys get those? But I mean, this is what came with the kit. We got the glass right there. And then let's see the instructions. Let's see on the chat. Crickets on the roof. And then Carlos Avalar, brass tubing. Oh yeah. Yeah, people do the brass tubing on that, right? Oh, let's check this out right here. Bam. Here we have the waterside decal sheet. Oh, so here we go. If we don't cut out the back, then we could slap that right there. Obviously, right? That could work. Possibly. Let's see. But yeah, there's some cool stuff right here. Pennzoil. That's cool. So this is the waterside decal sheet right there. And then here we have the it looks like a photograph of the real deal right there. The 101 car. That thing looks badass right there. Just, you know, getting ready to take off in its prime right here. Some pretty cool stuff. All right, so here, let's check it out. So you start to see the body lines and everything, right? A lot of things are smoothed out right there. And it just makes for like a great canvas for like painting and doing like pattern work. But more like I was saying, more like panels, you know? Like if you look at how they did this, right? You know, with something like this, most likely the whole car was white. Then they backmask these sections here. They backmask, you know, all the side right here. They shoot the red. Then on the bottom, they shoot the blue. Then you take everything out and bam, voila. Right there. But that's pretty dope. Let's see. And then Lane Low Hobbies, you can go crazy with aftermarket parts. There are a lot for those kits. Dang, yeah, man. Like, I've never built one of these, you know. I know my focus would be more on the paint job. And then, you know, later as I start, you know, paying more attention, learning some stuff and getting inspired, I'd probably start to really dig in and be like, all right, let me start, you know, looking into other stuff right here. Like you said, like the aftermarket. Look at that right there. I think this is what Carlos was referring to, the brass tubing for that. Yeah, this is some cool stuff, man. Bam. Yeah, when I see this stuff now, I'm like, all right, I feel like I need to go witness this in person. Like the car is actually racing, you know, not just go to like a spot where like they're parked and that's it. Like I feel like I need to go to a spot where they're actually like turned on and loud noises and all that good stuff, you know, and see some cars take off. Let's see. So this is the first one that I got that I was super excited about. Very, very. Hey, that track, is it still on or did they shut it down? I thought they shut down the track in Pomona. I wasn't sure. Somebody had told me you might want to hit up like Bakersfield. That was like the closest. I can't remember the name, but there was man, that sucks. I can't remember the website, but he told me go to this website and look up all the local like races that are coming up. And in the site, it's going to show you for the different styles, I guess, of racing and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool. So it looks like there was something kind of more towards like Bakersfield area. So that might be something I might want to check out, you know, then. So this is the first one, right? So this one, remember, this is the Mongoose. And then, because the next one I'm going to show you is another NHRA car. Bam. This one's the Hustler, Chi-Town Hustler, the 69 Dodge Charger. right there. Here, let's compare them side to side right here, or one above the other. Look at the difference. Somewhat similar, but different. One's the 75 Plymouth, 69 Dodge Charger. But it also kind of gives you, same kind of vibes. These are the official NHRA licensed products right here. And these are the Motorsports edition right there. Man, that big wheel in the back looks pretty dope. Then you got the smaller ones in the front. This one's still sealed. I'm not going to open this one anytime soon. If I'm going to work on these, it would most likely be the open one first. And then later, I'd want to work on this here. But for now, I'm just going to appreciate it for what it is. See, this one, it gives you, I don't know, did the other one show that? I think it did. I just didn't show you guys. Oh, my bad. I didn't show you. Check it out. Right there. This looks dope. Right here. Bam, the engine and everything. And then this one here has their version right there. And then I'm digging the flames. You got the flames right there, right up in the front. Got some more flames right here. This is pretty nice. Let's see. Laying Low Hobbies in the chat says used to go there all the time, and he's referring to the Pomona track. My grandma used to live down the street from the track. Oh, that's dope. So you must have seen a lot of stuff, especially going down there like to visit or even just to stay down there with the grandparents. Let's see. See No Evil Builds. Nice radius cut on the Charger. Look at that right there. And then, there we see. Juana Mesqua says Formosa in Bakersfield. Hey, Juan, have you ever gone to any of those races out there in Bakersfield? We should go, dude. Let's go. I'll be down if you're down. Let's see. Yes, sir. It was crazy loud. Man, I could imagine, bro. There's like no way of like containing the sound, right? Because it's just out in the open out there. Dang, I could only imagine. What a trip. What a trip. All right. And then there's one last car right here that we're gonna bring out. Check it out. And then I got my hands on this one here. This is the 55 Bel Air hardtop, a 2-in-1 monogram. So this is, man, I wonder what year this came out. It might be like early 2000s, What a trip. But this is skill level 3 on this one here. And then right here they have it with the two-tone. I'm assuming the chrome trimming comes off, right there. I know it reminds me of like the 58 Impala that Revell did, where a lot of those trimmings, like you'll see the little holes in the body, and then you just gotta like pop those in right there. Those are pretty neat. Let's see. The smell of racing fuel was the best. Damn, that's cool. Yeah, it must have got like cracking over there, huh? Like a lot of people and just packed like to see cars race, man. That's dope. Yeah, there must have been, over the years, maybe the city or the state probably started coming down on them. Like, you know what? We need to end this. We can't have it. The city of Pomona's growing, we need to end it and have it be as far away as possible. I wonder if something like that or something must have happened, right? Let's see here. So this 55, what I'm really digging is, like the flames, just that look, that black, so dark. That's dope. Let's see. Juan says, no, I haven't. I've been wanting to go. All right, bro. We're going to go. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure something out. And I think it'll be pretty cool. We got to just look at the site, the calendar, and figure out like what day to go and like bust the mission and just go down there and check it out. Let's see. I think they have one in March. Ooh, that would be a good time. If I'm not going anywhere, and if I'm in town, hell yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. All right, this time it was not that bad. Man, you know what? When I drank it earlier, I almost felt like when you take a shot and it hits you and then it comes back up. Like it burns. That's why I was like, damn, what's going on? That one was a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, it's way better to see it in person. Yeah, bro. That's what I want to experience because I'll jump on YouTube. Like I've been subscribing to some of those NHRA channel and I'm like, what's going on? It's happening again. It's dropping in, dropping out. So I see the interviews and stuff, and sometimes they get a chance to even put their camera inside their vehicle, like passenger view, or even just from the back, and it looks dope, right? But I can only imagine how crazy it must be in person, to see that. So yeah, I definitely would want to check that out and experience that right there. Let's see. Another thing I was going to tell you guys is the show, the Acme show in Atlanta is coming up. I don't know if you guys are going. I know Juan's going. I don't know who else. I don't know if Ryan's going. I don't know who else is going, but we'll be out there. We'll be out there Friday. We should be arriving to Atlanta. And from what I've heard is that on Fridays, people get together and they hang out on Fridays and just chop it up, talk. There's a lot of OGs and stuff like that are from, the East Coast and different areas that hang out and mingle. So I'll be going out there and, meeting some of the locals, and then also, some friends that I've become friends with over the years through Instagram that I've never never met in person. So this is going to be the first time we're going to be hanging out, meeting in person. So that should be a lot of fun. So that's going to be Friday. And then Saturday is the actual show. So first time being at the Acme show, going to take it all in. I'm going to try to record as much as I can. I'm going to try to take as many photos as I can of stuff. So this way, when I come back from the trip, I'm able to compile and put something together for you guys to present it to you guys. So that's something that, I'm very looking forward to right there. And that's going to be going down this weekend. It's going to be going by so fast, but there's a lot going on aside from that show, for those that are going to the model show, and even for those that can go, but still want to tune in on Instagram or on YouTube, whenever someone uploads a video. Aside from that, more excitement that's going to be happening that weekend is going to be SEMA, because I know people have been talking about SEMA. It's coming up, and now I'm starting to see a lot of footage of people, getting their stuff together, they're bouncing and this and that. So, I always know it's close to like Halloween, and, people that I know that work for certain companies that are going to be there with their booths, they're already promoting. So, I wish I could go. I wish, I've only been there once. I wish I could go again to like check it out. Hopefully next year. I was talking to a friend about that, and he was saying like, oh man, we should all go one day, like all of us, like, like the friends or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'll be down. Why not? We check it out for like a day or two, no rush, just kind of take it for what it is, and then just come back, So yeah, it should be fun, especially for those. I'm excited to see something new or just something exciting. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes on projects and stuff like that they're going to bust out with. And it's cool because, it's all car related stuff, people fabricating things, creating new things to inspire, to push the envelope, to the next level. The same with like painting. You start to see interviews with painters and just listen in as to what they're working on and stuff. So that's always pretty cool. And let me jump on the chat real quick, because I know I've just been kind of rambling on right there. Let me see. Juan says, I sent you one of their IG posts. Okay, I'll have to peep it. They have one this weekend. Oh, dang. Well, we're going to be gone. But yeah, I'll check it out. And then Carlos says, I used to work for SEMA for 17 years. Edgar, I sent you something on your message. All right, I'll check that out in a bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like there's a lot going on, coming up and stuff like that, but it should be fun. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, I did a video earlier recorded. I wanted to give a thanks to Stephen Courtney. Here, let me have to grab something in a bit, but let's check it out right here. So Steve hooked it up with these cards right here. These are some shop cards. Got a nice little stack right here. So he was nice enough to send these over. I'm going to be hooking people up with these with their orders right here. So he wanted me to pass these out. So whenever someone puts in an order on my website, I'm going to be adding. Check out that card right there. It's pretty dope. Yeah, in the video, I did put his links to his Facebook page. He also has a YouTube channel as well. So if you guys want to look up Steve, all you got to do is look up Steve Courtney Scale Customs right there. Man, look at that paint job though. That's pretty nice right there. See, Carlos says, I still have a racing, one of those Astro vans. Right on. Yeah, these are cool, man. Even I was tripping out when I was looking at this. I was like, man, like the top's cut off. You see the rag top right there. And then it's like slammed. And then even the paint job, I don't know what this is called, this style of paint job. I've never done one like this, but it looks pretty neat. Especially with like it looks like a little checkered flag right there. That's pretty dope. Nice. Yeah, it kind of gives like a 90s kind of vibe right there. That's cool. So let me set this right here. So he sent me these cards to hook people up. And then he also sent me this this is for like pinstriping right here. He sent me this book. It's all in pages right here. This is pretty cool. Here, let me flip through these. So it looks like he even threw in some of his. He was like messing around with like pencil right here. So I was like, man, I'm keeping these right here. There's some originals right here from Steve. Bam, right there. Then it looks like a printout. And I was like, man, 2005, what? Going back. And then obviously a flame pattern right there. And so this is the book right here. Bobo's little book of pinstripe designs. Oh, hold on, let me move this aside over here. All right, so let's see here. Let me scoot this over. Here we got the autograph right there. And then, we have the intro, stuff like that I'm going to read later. And then you start to see some of the work from the artist himself that put this book together. Some really cool designs. Stuff that I'm going to be staring at, tripping out, zoned in. And then here we go. All right, cool. So I showed these earlier in a video, and I thought this was so cool. Just looking at some of these sketches, striping and designs right there. You start to see the sketches right there. Things that could go like on the side of the vehicle or things, That's pretty cool. Look at that right there. I've always liked this. This is like little wraparound, little curly part right there. That's pretty cool. Digging that right there. And then let's see. I think I skipped one over. Hold on. Oh no, wait. I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because this one has like even the front design with the two birds right there in the front. And then we have this design here, which is interesting. I'm digging the flames and then the fish. And then this is an arrow right here. And then there's just tons and tons of designs all right here. Yeah, but just that wraparound right there is so cool. I like those. I've seen videos on how they do that. And I don't know, it just it looks so dope. Something about it just looks so cool, especially when you do it like in different colors. It definitely stands out. And then right here it looks like we have like some scrolls right there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, this is nice, man. So one of the things he was telling me, you know, he wanted to send me this in order to like practice and stuff. And he pretty much like these pages are separate, right? So I can get this page and I could put it like on this thing. Watch, let me show you guys this. What's going on? It's not letting me switch. All right, here we go. Boom. See right there. So on the, what is it? The right side, there's like a picture frame. And obviously you see a pinstripe. It's a little tiny one right there, right? This page I'm holding is a lot bigger. So I can put this behind the glass just the way I have this one displayed there. And then I can, you know, if I wanted to like get some muscle memory, I can go ahead and trace that with the pinstripe once it's all paletted and kind of go from there, right? And you know, when I did the podcast with Mercado, you know, I had asked them questions regarding pinstriping and stuff, and you know, one of the things that, you know, I had brought up to him was obviously, you know, you got to practice and stuff, and then, you know, he was saying, yeah, you have to. He said you have to practice like your straight lines, your C curves, your S curves. You know, start practicing and getting down the basics like that, right? And then over time, you'll start, you know, going into other things and scrolls and other stuff like that. But for the most part, you'll start seeing, you know, doing more of those, you know, like I said, the C, the S, and the straight lines. So when I look at this pattern here, you know, I see a lot of like curve, almost like a C, parts of like a C, even in different directions, right? That obviously when it starts to get tight in certain areas, you're going to have to start to like use your fingers, like twisting the brush there and so forth. But it's cool. And then look at these. It's just a little cool, like old school designs, a lot of cool stuff, you know. Look at that. Like crazy. Cool stuff. I'm digging it. Like, look at this right here. The face. What a trip. See, it says one of my famous one-line designs pinstriped went with 9 one-shot colors presented to one shot. Oh dang! I wonder if I could find this in the real picture. But you know, there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, this thing is thick, dude. Look at that. It's gonna take me forever to go through the whole thing. Here, let's show you like this. Yeah, even these designs are pretty dope. This reminds me of that artist, that pinstripper. I think it's Hansen. He has like that King 13 brush where he does these like kind of like side to side and kind of off kind of lines. It looks experimental, but that's like his style. Oh dang, look at that. All right, here we go. This is the cool stuff right here. This is like fun. Like, dang, I'm scrolling right there. That's pretty dope. Yeah, a lot of neat things, man. But yeah, thank you, Steve. Thank you for sending this over to me. I'm gonna cherish this, save it, and I'm gonna put it to use. I'm gonna have to do like a future video of using it, you know, applying it. So this way you could check that out right there. I think these are just like some little bonus pages he kind of just like tossed in there, you know, something that he kept for a very long time. So the video I posted earlier, it is gonna have his Instagram, not his Instagram, Facebook, and also his YouTube channel. I'll have to grab those links and throw them on this video later too, as well, right there. So yeah, I got these right here, and then I also the other day I was playing around with some Hot Wheels, and I ended up painting some and clearing them the other day. Let me see real quick. Let me go to the chat real quick, guys. It says Lane Low Hobby says Astrovans are sick. They need to bring back the kit. Yeah, those are the Fujimi kits, huh? They need to bring those back. And then Carlos Avalar, Edgar, you need to get yourself a water pencil so you can do your layout and paint pinstripe over it. Oh, nice. Let's see. Yeah, I probably do need to get something like that. Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can draw out and do, and then just put it in the back of that glass and then start, like, practicing. And Lane Low Hobbies, I wish I could learn pinstriping, but my hands shake too much. And slowly models, hella memories, 2 lettering books. I used to trace from as a kid. Damn. I remember I met this like airbrush artist many years ago through my friend Renee, and he was really well known for doing murals. And you know, I had asked him, I was like, what's something you would recommend for me to do in order to get better at airbrushing, to have better control and stuff like that, and like movement and everything. And then he just started telling me, he's like, honestly, he's like, buy yourself a coloring book, like any kind of coloring book. It could be a children's coloring book, anything, right? With characters, whatever. And I was like thinking like, all right, like, you know, where are we going with this? So he says, get the coloring book, get like an easel, you know, and then you could either cut out the page or just fold it, you know, open it up, and then just place it on there. Get your ink, you know, put it on your airbrush and stuff, and then start tracing pretty much the character or the lines, anything that's, you know, start tracing that with your airbrush, just to get the movements, and just do that. No shading, no coloring in. Just spend the whole time flipping through page until you do the whole book. You know, he says start doing that, and then later start going back and like filling in, like coloring it in, you know, so you learn how to like start getting the movements of like shading and moving back and forth and so forth. And then also like, in case if you like leave paint on the tip and you press it down and it spits, so this way you kind of know what's going on, you know, where to be like, oh, don't do that again, you know, I messed up. There was a lot of cool, interesting things he was telling me about right there, that I was like, man, that's cool. Like, I always appreciate when people, you know, the same like how you guys are here on the chat, you know, you guys are giving some information to help in order to like get better and like learn some new crafts and like some new stuff right there. That's always pretty cool. Let me peep something real quick. So I did these die cast the other day. Let me bring them out, dude. I gotta get them. Let me show you guys real quick. Let me change the camera. I'm gonna go grab them and then I'm gonna bring them over here. So let me switch it up. Hold on. Let's see. So I keep them in these. Keep this one here. All right. Bam. I'm gonna bring these over there. I just don't want to drop them. Putting them in this little tray. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. I wonder. All right. Bam. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels time. Yeah, like how Juan says it right there. Right on. So these are the ones right here that I started to paint. All these right here. So I stripped them. You know, I use this JC Lowrider Model Builds. What's up, man? What up? Thank you for joining us right here. I went ahead and stripped these, and once I stripped them, I pretty much did like a black base over a lot of these right here. So this first one here, I based it black, and then I used a House of Color Ice Pearl, and I just started hitting it over black. A lot of the times the ice pearls, I tend to use them over lighter or like white, like pearl white colors. And this time I was like, let me see what happens when I spray it over black, right? So then the more material I was shooting over it, the more it starts to build up on it right there. Here, I don't want to open my palm because last time my camera started tripping, zooming out. But there's the effect that you see right there on this. And I just sprayed it along the whole car, you know. It's an Audi wagon. And then the interior was black. So I just went ahead and I sprayed the interior with the tan color, just like how I did these. I pretty much did them all tan. And this is Tamiya rattle can. Something about the tan look I really like. Or it's more like a brown kind of look, you know. And then I cleared it with House of Color Show Clear right here. I just wanted to really see the effect of what would happen, right? It almost looks like flake, but it's not flake. It's just the pearl that's on there. Kind of a trip. So there's that. Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you for that. And then this one here we got this van, this Dodge right here. This one I got a while back. So this one, I ended up painting it all pearl white. And then I came back with Oriental blue, and I started to spray the candy at the top. So this way it would give it a fade at the bottom. And I did probably like 4 passes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the same with the top. Then when I got to the top part, I sprayed it darker. When I had it like this, I would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, probably up to 8, right? And then I let it chill, and I kind of come back. Let's see here. So you could kind of tell right there, it's a little bit white at the bottom, the blue. There's a side, and I'm just using the same stock wheels that came with the Hot Wheel, right? When I look at this, I'm really digging the van. I'm liking this one. This is so far one of my favorites. But one of the things what I kind of regret now when I look at it is after I did the candy, I should have came back one more time with the white pearl, and I should have faded it from the bottom going up, you know, just hitting the bottom side all around. So this way you see a little bit more white at the presence down here. So this way there's a transition in between, right? But I didn't do that. I've done that with other models, but I didn't do that with this one. But it's fine. I mean, that's something that when I look at this model, that's the first thing that's going to pop to my head. Like, I should have done that, and I didn't. But it's all good. I'll try to remember that next time whenever I'm working like on another build. This one here, I went ahead and also did Oriental blue, but I did the whole body, and I did more blue. See, like right now, when I'm looking at this, under this lighting in here, it's not looking like a candy color at all. But when it's outside, it's definitely transparent. And this is House of Color Clear as well. I did shoot a lot of passes of clear on this. And I mean, everything flowed out cool. I got lucky. I didn't have to, have to polish it or anything like that. Wet sand it. There's a couple that I did have to do that. There was like the clear. There was like some sink marks. There was like, just debris and stuff that got on there. But I got lucky on some of these that everything just flowed out really clean. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, like right here, this is a little bump. That's part of the thing. Oh, there you go. Because at first I was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, what is that? Something land on that? Dang, but nah. And then I also did with the tan interior on this one. So one idea I had too is like, let's say like the rear, right? Like if I want to detail the like the tail lights and everything else in the back, instead of just leaving it like this all plain, I know that I can use like the Tamiya, the LP, like the lacquer, the little bottles that came out some years back, and just with like a tiny little brush, and I could just touch up those little areas, and I could rock with that right there. This next one right here, so this is House of Color paint. This one here, this orange is actually a paint huffer paint right here. First time using it. Let's take a look at this one right here. That's the paint huffer paint. This is the artist. They did a collab with Tukey on this one here with this color. There you go. I haven't attached the bottom yet. It still comes apart. Look. I'm just being careful when I'm like holding that bottom part. I think this is just loose. Everything else is fitting kind of tight because I kind of squeeze it out. I think because of the clear, it's just kind of tight. It just won't come out. But here we go. This bottom piece obviously comes out or whatever. There it is right here. So with this color, you know what? Let me bring the bottle. I gotta show you guys the bottle. Hold on, I'll be back. Let me get the bottle. Cause there's like a pearl in there that I gotta show you guys. Let's see. All right. Oh, God damn. All right, we got the paint. Oh, I got the can. Oh, let's bring everything out right now. We got time. All right, cool. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, I'm back. So check it out. So this is the artist. If you go on Paint Huffer's website, this is the way they shipped it. I thought this was dope. I got a 4-ounce bottle or whatever, and they put it in this little can, right? And they just put this label right here. They even have the House of Color logo right there. But just the artwork right here. So yeah, Tukey's dope. He's a dope artist right here. And what I did was, see, like now it's an empty can. There's that color right there. I need to clean it or get some lacquer thinner and just wipe it down. Yes, these smells still. So I just kept it kind of sealed. So anyway, pretty much what I ended up doing, like for this color, I ended up pouring it in this bottle right here, and I put a shaker in there, so you could hear that there. And you know, when it was in the can, I kept stirring it, but once I got it on here, I was like, all right, cool. I don't know if you guys could see. I don't know if it'll focus, but there is like a pearl in this color. And I don't know if it's like a white pearl that they added or like a purple. Well, not purple. What is this? This is the cha-cha. That's all it says. But when everything starts to kind of fall down, you start to see the pearl in there. But I was like, oh man, this is a cool color, right? And then this is another one, the Malibu Blue. This looks like an old school kind of classic kind of color too. And it's also like a pearl. Look at that. I was like, huh, interesting. Like, I'm a fan. I love pearls. Like, I'll buy dry pearls a lot when I see them, and I collect them. And then once in a while, I'll use them. And then this is the color called OC Orange. This is the color I used on this car. right here. So let's shake this up. All right, cool. Let's see. Yeah, this is also like a pearl. This is a really nice orange color right here. So these ones were like $20 for 4 ounces. And you do need to reduce them. Like they do say ready to spray. But when I was like, pouring it in the cup, it still was thick. So I had to add some reducer on there. And I just feel like a lot of the times when they do have, they're ready to spray, sometimes the reducer will evaporate over time, depending the shelf life of the paint. We don't know how long the paint has been, if they mix it on the spot or produce it on the spot, or it's been there for some weeks or months, we don't know. That's something we won't never know. But yeah, these are the colors right here that I poured in. And these bottles, if you guys are looking for these type of PET bottles, I got them from Coast Airbrush. These are the twist cap. And then there's also the other like flip cap that you could pop off and just pour in the paint. So far, it's been really easy for me to use this to pour paints in my cup and like just spray out. So if you guys are looking for a different kind of pearl color, might want to check these out right here. And, got this cool little can that now I could keep for the keepsake right there. So that's going back to this color right here. So this color, surprisingly, was shot over a black base. Normally I was always shooting my pearls over a white base. Always, right? I was always like, oh, it's because, it's orange, right? And I want my orange to be like brighter. So I'm going to go with like a white base, right? This time I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that. Let me go over a black base. I want to see how it goes. And the thing with pearls is like, when you shoot those first coats, you're not really going to cover it. It's going to happen later as you keep applying more coats, right? And I started applying it, and then bam, it started to come out like this. So I was like, oh, there we go. I'm happy with the color, the way it turned out at the end. And then we just went ahead and cleared it right there. So, yeah, let me go to the chat real quick, catch up with you guys here. So let's see. It says, let's see. JC Lowrider Model Build says, I found my old 00 King 13 brush, and I plan to buy some white and blue one shot soon. Oh, nice. And then, hell yeah, bro. You need some aftermarket wheels, bro. Badass. Then JC Lowrider Model Builds. Get some practice down before I do some pinstripes on my actual car. All right, on. Nice. Now, yeah, I got to get on it. And then Carlos Avelar says, you read my mind with the Hot Wheels. That is in the pic. I sent you some that I did in the past. All right, on. And then Wet, Badass Color. Hell yeah, I'm going to have to pick some up. That's from Lane Low Hobbies. And then is headquarters sometime I take lid off and look at the paint with the phone flashlight. Oh, nice. I'm still painting models with a brush and testers by hand. I need airbrush and quality paint. And then Lane Low Hobbies, definitely going to pick some up. Hey, is headquarters, when you're painting your models with a brush and testers, how's that laying out? Like with the like the flow, is it laying out somewhat smooth, or is it kind of laying some of the like the bristles from the brush? Is that showing on there? I'm just curious because I haven't done that right there. But yeah, man, if hopefully in the future, if you can get a brush, that'd be pretty dope. Yeah. As far as paint too, I mean, you can always, try out like, Mr. Hobby. Also, there's the lacquers from, Tamiya too, as well. Even if it's brushed or airbrushed, you can rock that right there. And then this next one is a Hot Wheels car that's like a tuned car, I guess like a stretched one that they did. Look at this one right here. And this is with like their purple like limited series at House of Color. It's a really dark color. It's not until it hits the sun. You can see on the fenders a little bit right there, the purple. But yeah, this one I buried it with clear, like exaggerated clear. You can see my fingerprint right there. But there we go, right there. And I still need to, I did a tan interior on it. I just need to go back in here and paint the like the exhaust, like the pipes in the back right there. And then I might need to paint like the front, like detailing the grill right there in the front. The original color was yellow right there. So this is something that I'm somewhat transforming as well right here on this particular build. And it's the same original wheels right there. So this has been pretty fun, you know, just messing around. I might even paint the headlights. They're clear. I might you know, paint them with some clear color or something, but we'll see. I'm having fun with these right now. Let me put this right here. And then, all right, these next ones. This one is also Oriental blue, the same as these other two blues right here. I forgot the dude's name, but it was someone, I believe he's from San Diego, that sells these wheels. And he was out here in the Pasadena area, South Pasadena, and he has a booth and he sells wheels and decals. And I bought these from him like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And I might use them. I'm not sure. But check this out. It's a CRX. I don't know if I'm going to use these wheels yet. But it's also candy blue, tan interior. I mean, all the interiors were black in these cars, you know. But I was like, let's just go with the tan for now. Later, I'll switch it up once I get another color. But for now, this is kind of what I'm rocking with right here. And then I don't know if I'm going to leave this black or not, the front little lip right there. But this is the Oriental blue. And, I mean, look at the blues. It's the same blue. It's just different coats of clear. I went a little crazier on this one, on the coats of clear. And then also like different bases. These two are more like black bases. This one I hit it with over a white base. And then let's see. This one here, I painted it. The interior, I don't know if it's one of these or not. But anyway, check out this one. This is another type of pearl. And then I kind of ghosted the right there in the front on the hood. Right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to rock these wheels. I just put these on because that's all I have. I think I threw away the original wheels the Hot Wheel came with. Right there. But yeah, this is also House of Color. And this is the glass for it. I think this is the interior for it. I think. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it is. So that's there we go, like that. Bam. Put that in. So that's part of that. And then this one here is another one. Yeah, and they're not glued or anything together. So this is another one where the whole base was originally black. And then I hit the whole body with the gold pearl. And then I backmasked the fenders. And then I came back with the teal candy over the gold. And now I'm thinking, dang, I should have done the same with this bottom front lip right there. The front bumper and everything, because it's just black. So I might revisit this one and actually pearl it gold and then start to hit it with the teal right there. But I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to rock with these wheels. Like, I almost feel like these wheels might be a little too modern for this car, you know. But that's all I have right now as far as wheels. Later, if I acquire more wheels or something, you know, I'll switch them out. But for now, that's all I have. So I just kind of keep them in these trays. You know, I think I talked about that I bought these at a store out here recently, and they've been coming in handy just so this way, you know, when I'm working on stuff, whether it's the Hot Wheels or even just the let me see if I could take this off. Will it come off? It has to. I didn't glue it. Oh, there we go. Any other projects, I could just kind of toss in all the stuff right there. And let's see how it'll look now with the interior. All right. Bam. Yeah, I need to see something about the wheels. They seem kind of big maybe for this car. But I'm really digging the color so far. But yeah, these trays, I'm using them just for this reason, like to be able to transport the stuff kind of back and forth, and then whatever I'm working on, I can be like, all right, cool, like all the stuff's right there, you know. Eventually, later, I'll get some little plastic cases for them or something, like to put them away. But now when I go to the stores, I'm kind of keeping an eye out on certain Hot Wheels. If anything, I might be looking for more like these styles that are like a little more exaggerated with the big engines, just because they look kind of funky and I kind of like them. Just to experiment more on the paint jobs, I guess, or with colors. But yeah, those are it right there for those. But yeah, these colors are nice, man. They're pretty cool. Later, I'll play around with other colors that I have. I also have some spoons too that I'm gonna be painting pretty soon and stuff. But yeah. Oh, another tip. I ended up using, when I was clearing these, I ended up using a heat gun. Plugged it in, shot, you know, the mist coat, and then I got the heat gun, and maybe like if I have the die cast right here, my hand's like probably way over here, and I'm just kind of waving it back and forth, and the heat is just hitting it, and then it gets it ready for the next coat. Boom, boom, more clear, and then again, and I ended up drying it out pretty fast right there, and the next day it was good to go, you know, just because I wanted to speed up the process, but I also was curious as to what would happen. I wanted to see if the clear was going to bubble up, if there was going to be a reaction, if the paint was going to start to tear. I was really, because I'm heating up metal basically underneath too. But nothing happened. Everything was good. You know, as far as plastic, I haven't done it over plastic. So I wonder if the plastic would start to warp or what would happen, you know? So I might need to test that on a test body or something. All right. I see you guys. No, thank you, Andres. Thank you for that. Let's see. Where can I buy tiny custom car parts besides the ones that come inside Hobby Lobby kits? The parts are all stock, not good. Like spokes. If you're looking for spoke wheels, visit Lowrider Model Car Parts. That's what I would recommend right now with a lot of like spoke wheels. Let's see. Shrink heat tubing for low profile tires. Oh, nice. And then on this, I've been collecting since '93. Need a Scale Riders original for the collection. Oh, dang. Right on, bro. That's dope. Yeah. Later, I want to do some proper ones because look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. On some of these, bro, I had bought the drill set. What is it? Oh man, I can't remember the name, but it's like the two drill bits, and then there's another bit in order to create the screw, right, for the bottom, so that way you could put your own screws. You could open it, close it, and on a lot of these, I just ended up tearing out the bottom, right, with the drill, and I didn't end up, I think it's tapping it like a tap tool. I didn't tap it where, now I could put screws. So like this one here, I just glued it. I just use CA glue, and it's attached right there. So I feel like I need to buy another set of those tools, get it going, and then once I have something proper like that or whatever, I'll probably end up making some custom builds or whatever, like focusing more on the paint, and then I'll probably put them on my site to sell, just if somebody wants them right there. So thank you, man. Yeah, thank you for that. Maybe there'll be something cooler in the future that you'll see, and you'll be like, dang, well, we'll see. I'm gonna keep playing around with it and like learning and stuff. Maybe on some of these I could even try to mess around with some pinstripe at some point, or even if it's a straight line, that'd be kind of cool. Kind of go from there. But hey guys, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go. I gotta get ready because I gotta get up early tomorrow morning, and the countdown begins. All we got is Wednesday and then Thursday, calling it an early night because I got to get up at like, I don't know, 3 in the morning, get ready, get in my car, and I got to drive to LAX. And then I'm going to meet Armando there. And I think Juan's going to probably be there. Hopefully that early. I'm not sure what time your flight leaves, Juan. But I know mine leaves at 6. And then, bam, we're on our way. So I'll be touching down. Hopefully everything goes good at 1 p.m. Atlanta time. So we'll see what's up. But I'll let you guys go. And it should be cool. Looking forward to it. And, if I have time, maybe I'll jump back on tomorrow. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see what's up. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in. All you guys that were on here. See No Evil Builds. Is Headquarters, Lane Low Hobbies, Carlos Avalar, Juan Amezcua, Paint Maverick. Let's see who else we have right here. I'm scrolling fast through the chat. JC, Lowrider Model Build, Slowly Models. Right there. Yeah. All right, guys. And oh yeah, Cyrene Live 505 right there. And also Lowrider in Scale Magazine, the bench and the booth. Man, he was the guy that put together the magazine. That's pretty dope. He jumped in the chat with us when we were doing the magazine preview earlier. And also I can't forget Steve Kessel right there. Cool. Oh, and models by Ronnie. He was also featured in the magazine right there too. So, all right, guys, you guys have a good one. Have a good night, and we will be in touch soon. All right. Peace out, guys. Later.